All right. This is another video of mine that is going to go through um, example of some of the testimonies of my targeting and what it's been going through, like what kind of things they've been making me experience, some of the logicalness and the way they try to create a persona. Um, 2 seconds ago, and literally maybe 3 minutes this time, like I'm saying right before I made this video, they have these things where they try to make you feel they try to make you feel guilty for the thoughts they just implanted in your head, and the way they do it is like all of a sudden they get all silence, as if you just thought just those thoughts just went there, you know and you hear these people try to cover that up. It's just disgusting. In this case was where they keep, like, it's so disgusting, it's so disturbing. There's the next door neighbor, there's a little girl, like maybe a 7-year-old girl. They've been forcing me to think in these disturbing ways, absolutely disgusting ways, right? And it's obviously you can see how they try to make it hard for me to speak, because I'm gonna say it's obviously those pedophilia methods of breaking you down. They have these disturbing tactics of just forcing you to have these thoughts and being quiet, as if like, oh my gosh, this technology that has the ability to override your thoughts, that have the ability to force you to think in any ways possible, is not the thought. It's not them. It's not that this technology forcing you to think this way. It just happened to just go there all of a sudden now. It's so nasty. I was just looking around and try to, like, it's funny. They usually implant these thoughts when you're just kind of focusing on something else. So I'm looking at my place, and I'm seeing, and I'm kind of looking at my decorations and what I would do my decoration, and all of a sudden, and they try to make it seem like it's just, I shouldn't be laughing because the disturbingness of the thoughts, but it's laughable in the sense that, oh, and then also then you go, and it's just like, oh, there you go, there you go, there you go, and of course, some of the most disturbing pedophilia thoughts start going to my head, and I should, of course, forget that they've been doing this pedophilia type of tormenting for decades. I should somehow think they're not doing these pedophilia things. They're not doing that. They are not forcing you to have this thought. They don't do that. They just analyzing those thoughts that they don't manipulate. That they not implant. Those thoughts are just organically happening. You would think like that naturally. We're not doing anything. Forget about all the testimonies that confirming, validate you in regard of like how disturbing they are when it comes to the manipulating thoughts. That's you. Listen to these people talking to you, telling you there is when they are, and there is this methods of technology, methods and tactics of forcing you to think in these disturbing ways. Listen to these people who are so full of BS, who are damn near on a retardation level of logic, who are not trying to gaslight you, but just telling you that that was just you. Forget of all that, and then they try to make you be fear based in the sense like, oh, they're going to sort of they're going to rape you, they're going to do this and that. Regardless of what's going to happen to me, one thing is for sure: this person that you've been targeting did not let you live your fantasy. You nasty people, you disgusting trash, have sold your soul to pedophiles, and now are sitting there forcing people to accept thoughts that were obviously being planted by these people, by this technology, and try to normalize it, try to minimize it by calling yourself, oh, we're cruel. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, it's our world. All the things they say sometimes. Oh, you're gonna get, when in reality, you guys have truly become pedophiles at this point. Now, I know I'm not saying that you do things to kids, or unless you're doing it for in regard of being targeted. But at this point, you have completely accepted that you're a pedophile. If for you to accept to be part of the program where they will enforce, they force you to think in these peripheral ways with this technology that completely override your thoughts with whatever they want, and calling that being daring. This coward, trash, disturbing tactics is daring to this trash, when in reality, its protocol had even as nasty, as disturbing, as disturbing as it is. This is protocol. It's actually the norm. Believe it or not, like that video I made about theirs. They are. You hear that? That's what they do, forcing you to have these highly disturbing thoughts implanted in your brain, literally created to go into your brain. That's the things they do. And they every time me of when after doing that, they start talking about how they're gonna do this, they're gonna rape the ass out of you, they're gonna do this to you, or they will rape, or they will do this, or you will be tortured, or you will be burned, or they be burned. And truly, it's weird for me to say that, but I would even be raped and tortured than being a program where I am involved a in this type of technology that makes somebody think in this pedophilia way, and just calm down and quiet down, and try to make that person believe that those thoughts as are his or hers, with the amount of validation that he and she have. It's not, like, it's not even like, the thing is, at this point, I'm so valid like this. I'm already aware of the level of capability of this technology. It's not like, it just started and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why, what is it, what's happening to my brain. No, I'm like, yeah, via synthetic telepathy, you force people to have these thoughts, and those thoughts are usually the most disturbing thoughts. They are meant to break you down. So all of a sudden, you force me to have this disturbing thoughts about this kid, this baby next door. Disgusting. And then once it's put in there, it can comes back. Like once they start implanting those thoughts, they come back and come back. It brings, like, it comes back. Like, it seems like now your brain is aware, is known, like it has understood, has been introduced with thoughts that now they continuously go into. And so it's just like, you can't undo this nastiness. It's in your brain now. It's just so disgusting, and it can continuously come in. And every time you're like, oh my gosh, this thought just happened, and then they say, oh, which thought? This thought? And then it's so disgusting. Now, this is nothing new. I've made a lot of videos about these disturbing thoughts, so I'm not gonna talk about this in this video again. I'm just wanting to just bring that up again because it was just happening before I made this video. But you gotta understand, these are the same people who are trying to tell you who you are. You know, these are the same people who are trying. These people who implant these disturbing thoughts, right, or are trying to make you accept these disturbing thoughts as yours. To that you should understand, you should believe who you should accept the persona that they created for you. You should believe to them, these people who are just literally forcing you to accept this disturbing thought you just had implanted by them. You should accept those thoughts that they want you to accept as yours, even though they implant these disturbing, sexual, perverted, pedophilia centric thoughts about a baby next door. But also, then now they want you to, oh no, no, you see, believe, no, you see, uh uh Robert, you just made me have this most disgusting sexual thought about this baby, and now you want me to go into the way you're analyzing, you who just did this, you who implement this peripheral type of torture. They are disgusting. And so in my head, they try to like find ways to kind of, okay, now, no, no, this is how disgusting it is, and it's so disgusting. So now talking about what they're gonna do, what they're doing, that like what I was going to talk about is kind of like, it's kind of it's it minimizes what I'm going to say, because after experiencing this nastiness, just talking about what I'm about to talk is like, oh my gosh, it's not even comparable. But I'm going to still talking about it, and as they try to make me feel uncomfortable here. Uh, so I've made a video uh about how they're trying to prove their points, right? In 2014, I followed this person thinking that she was an adult, and I made this video called, dairies and all, and I was saying that this was a their proof, right? And in this video you see me showing that, right? It's basically, it's gonna you see me showing that this is a girl that I, in 2014, I was about 27, and I saw her thinking she was an adult, right? In this picture, she's, and she looked just like that, right? As you can see, things are distorted for a purpose. I don't want to show her face. But I thought she was an adult. You can see she kind of looked like, she looked like she has a figure that looked like she's an adult, but I was wrong. She was not an adult yet. She was about to be an adult, but she wasn't. And I never knew that she was not an adult. I found that out later on, but I was fooled by her appearance. I was fooled by the way she looked. And so later on I found out, and I was like, oh, and they were like, oh, you see, that's proof, right? And to them, it's been just them using these moments as a proof to when they do this disturbing stimulation toward children, right? But you can see, obviously, this person look like an adult, but she's not. She looked like a woman, but she's not. She's a girl. She's a kid, but well, she's a woman now. That was a long time ago. She's a mid 20s now, but at the time she looked this like this, and I thought she was an adult woman and young adult woman because I was a young man too. I just turned 27 years old. So you think that I'm thinking she's not now. They've been trying to make me accept this nasty pedophilia stimulation, and it's like, but remember, you followed her, you thought and yes, I followed her thinking she was an adult because she looked like an adult. That's why. So now when they make me have this weird stimulation and perception and whatever, I'm like, this is you guys doing that. I know me. I'm not. This is not actually happening. It's like, no, 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 it's you. But I remember in 2014, like they used this moment. Oh, that was that. You see, that was you. You see that what happened, and it's just them trying to find ways to make me accept what they're doing to me, which is making me feel stimulations toward kids. But it got worse. It didn't get worse, but I've been following her for a while. She has on Snapchat. She has like great stories. She traveled the world. She does that. She got great. When you become, when you follow somebody, you become in like involved in their family, like you involved in their life, right? You follow them. You see them traveling. You see them, they're in their relationship and in the families and everything. Like you become like just more somebody who live through people, which is not good. They travel, like is and you become like almost like invest in their life, right? Which is another subject. But when I was following and I'm still following her, I remember she had like a little sister, like a tiny little sister, a baby. I mean, I think at the time when I was following her, she was like maybe like earlier. She was like not even a teenager yet or something that. And so I think last year, as she traveled, I think she saw her sister again. She was with her sister again. Her sister now looks like a teenage kid, right? Still very much look like a kid, right? She definitely looked underage, and she looked very like like underage, like maybe 16, 17. Now and like she didn't the little sister does not look like her sister, right? The sister looked like an adult when she was an adult. The little sister looked like the way a kid should look like at that age. She looked like the age you look at her, it's like, oh, she's like 16, 17-year old. She looked like she's not, like the sister, this is what she looked at the time, right? And this is why she could fool somebody to think she's an adult. The little sister looked like a typical teenage kid, typical, very like you can't like you see her, she look like a kid in my head, right? Of course, because I saw this last year or something like that. already. I'm a target individual. My perception are messed up. They're making me have this perception toward children in disgusting ways, and it's nonstop. Like, so, of course, with the little sister, they start trying to do the stimulation. It's so disgusting, disgusting. Matter of fact, they wanted to have a battle between in my head, try to make me imagine. Oh, maybe she's 18. I was like, there's no way this kid is 18 years old. There's no way. They were trying to force me to things like no, no, and because they have this ability to really make you think that those thoughts are true. They're so deep in your thoughts, in almost like your consciousness, that they can force you to think. I'm like, I have to like probably like I have to like literally say this is she's not 18 years old. There's no way she looks like a 16, 17 year old kid. She looks so kid like there is no. I'm no. I don't believe it. Like I'm talking to my brain that's damn controlling it because what they wanted to me to do is like, oh, maybe she's 18. So then I found out she's not. I said, no, no, look at her.